Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Sovereign Syndicate. We're back in the hoofs, I was going to say shoes, but the hoofs of Atticus Daley here, and we're back in the orphanage where he grew up, so yeah, we're just going to explore a bit and see if we can find out a bit more about Atticus's mother. The sister behind the counter is so focused on chewing her lip and reading over a piece of parchment, she doesn't even notice my appearance. Makes my skin jumpy just to watch her. What a twitch. Sorry, with a twitch, she finally looks up.
Oh, yes. Is there something I can, why are you here?
The sister is smiling rigidly, a weird heat in her eyes. Her lips quiver as if, were she to stop smiling, some dark energy would encroach even further upon Sacred Heart. Now, well, I'm not confident. My name's Atticus Daley. Did you know Sister Eloise?
Indeed I did, God rest her soul. You may pay your respects in our churchyard. I am Sister Susanna. Was that all you wanted? If there's nothing urgent, I should get back to my duties.
Oh, she's busy, all right, somewhere deep in her own mind. My mother abandoned me at Sacred Heart many years ago. I want to see the note that she left me.
Oh, I see. Well, you know we can't allow just anyone to poke through our files.
Okay, well, we don't have self-reliant, unfortunately. Apologise for the money I stole. Before I ran away from this place, I stole money for the lockbox in the office, so I'm deeply sorry.
Well, that is quite a shameful thing to do, but it doesn't mean that it can't be forgiven.
I should have never have done it, but now I wish to make amends. Please accept this gift to Sacred Heart.
Oh, but this is a bank draft and it's worth 40 shillings. How generous of you. I commend you, Atticus.
Put a sock in it, crone. Bloody hell, it's like she doesn't think I have any sort of moral compass.
This may not seem like a lot of money, but I promise every farthing will go towards the children's care and placing them in paying jobs.
There's a half-second of hope in her eyes, immediately overpowered by trepidation.
This key's for the cabinet in the office. Perhaps your mother's note is in there, but I can't be sure. I cannot leave my desk, or I would take you there myself.
Much obliged, good sister. Might I ask you something else?
Of course. What's on your mind?
Forgive my curiosity, but can you provide any details about the kidnappings that have yet to be relayed to the police?
I wish I could, but the fact that the kidnappings took place at night means there's little to no information I've yet to share with anyone.
Reason I'm asking is that a little bird told me that they've witnessed things suggesting that Bertie and Julie are in deeper trouble than we thought.
Oh, if what you heard is true, then it's clear we sisters are hardly equipped to deal with those responsible for all this. With people who can easily overpower us.
I found these keys lying around. You wouldn't want the residents to be running around unlocking all kinds of doors, would you?
Oh, heavens no. It's cold enough without doors being left open. We're having the interior locks changed, but we can't change the others without permission from the parish. Thank you for bringing these to me.
Farewell, sister.
Alright, so did at least one good deed there. I wonder if that's why the stranger left us the bank draft. So because he knew that we'd stolen the money, so he was allowing us to make amends. How could I forget the door to the kitchen? We would always try to sneak in to steal scraps. And the cook was rather quick to draw with that quick to the drawer with that spatula. Gives me the shivers even now. Okay. Oh, up the stairs. Why didn't I think of going up the stairs? Right. Well, there's the office. That's probably where we're meant to go, but there's a dining hall as well. Table's big enough for a grand banquet, but they've struggled to feed 2 score orphans all these years. Come on. Refectory seat. What's that leather-bound diary doing out in the open? It's as if someone wanted to have their innermost thoughts laid bare for others to read. I'll buy it. Let's see what this owner had to share. Some pages are missing. I'm left with entries penned several days apart from one another. Right, day 6. Day 6 reads, food getting less edible with each passing day. Theodora broke her teeth upon biting into a really hard slice of bread. Didn't eat mine, though I used to knock it out I used it to knock out an airborne pigeon. Those go well with salt and pepper. Oh god, are we going to lose all our hope here reading this orphan's diary? His author couldn't wait for staff members to provide something edible, so they took matters into their own hands. Day 24. Borrowed recipe books from sisters. Cakes and meat dishes had me drooling on the page. We'll try to sneak out the orphanage and look for bakeries and butcher shops. Reminds me of my younger self, though reading the books was as far as I got. Day 35. Butcher thought I was too much of a whippersnapper to carry carcasses without hurting my back. We'll try baker next. Besides, can't stand flies. What? Everyone loves flies.
I've got a hope back. What is it up to now? 90? Day
37. Baker relished my knowledge of hard recipes. Will he take me in before relocating his business to the east? Maybe this has a happy ending. Day 39. Got hired and moving away from London with Baker. Well, they were luckier than I ever was. Perhaps the diary was their way of letting the sisters know where they'd gone. Or a polite way of saying, if you wanted to stay, you should have fed me better. By serving flying rats with salt and pepper.
Okay. Worn out Bibles and books on theology competing against piles of dust for shelf space. Got a wit check.
What's that in the empty cabinet? Bully, it's a hand of glittering gears. I could fetch a price for these from an engine man. For the few visitors that make the trip to the Sacred Heart. Just a couple of notes and signatures and a smattering of doodles by the orphans.
Oh, okay, there's more to do around here.
Jeez, and look at the size of you. What do you do for a living? Juggle anvils?
Yeah, and it beats sitting around an orphanage staring at a wall.
Mouth as big as his biceps.
I'm big, but I'm actually a nice fellow. I'm an orphan myself. I was raised here. Name's Atticus. What's yours?
Don't know if niceness gets you anywhere in life. Round here, get you picked on and that's it. Anywho, I'm Scarlet. Why on earth would anyone come back to this dung heap? When I get a bit older, my backside is the last thing they're going to see of me.
I'm investigating the disappearance of two orphans, Bertram and Julie. Do you know them?
You know Bertram and Julie? Yeah, I saw it happen. It was three toughs, big fellas like you. They snatched little Julie and tossed her in a grain sack as easy as picking a cat up off the ground. When Bertram tried to defend her, he only got himself snatched right alongside her.
Did anyone try and stop them?
We were all too afraid.
I meant the sisters, but I guess the kids are used to relying on themselves. And it happened during the... Did you get a look at the kidnappers' faces?
They all wore kerchiefs across their faces. Couldn't see nothing save for the eyes.
Poor thing doesn't know anything else. Better leave her alone. Fair enough. Take care now, Scarlet.
See you around, Mr. Atticus.
Alright, what's going on in the fireplace?
We always used to fight for the warmest beds, closest to the fireplace. Faded old photograph of Sacred Heart's ragamuffins. I remember when it was taken. How you had to stand still for so long it seemed like a week. They took one of these photos every year, provided there was money for it. Judging by the lack of any more recent images, they must have stopped hiring a photographer at all. Everyone looks so tiny. Well, except for me. There beside me is Leo, the only friend I have had at the orphanage, aside from Eloise. Leo was a dwarf and got picked on just as much as me, but he'd never backed down from a fight, so he got the worst of it. Barely 14 when he went missing. The guilt I felt for leaving without telling him doubled after I heard. I remember now he ran away less than a week prior. Horrible timing.
Okay.
Just an old Bible. Or is it? Something about it looks familiar. Ah, it's a hollowed out Bible with an opinion book inside.
A text used for the spreading of rumours and gossip within an institution.
Bloody wonderful idea. Happy to see the tradition was upheld. Can't help but wonder what the young tearaways had to say about one another and the staff.
Read about Scarlet.
Let's see, Scarlet. Not many friends, unless you count the ones she knitted clothes for and sewed buttons on. Poor Scarlet. At least her doll won't pick on her like whoever wrote this entry. Oh, what do we have here? Bertram hangs about with a yellow-haired cut purse who gloats about joining the circus. Orphans and street urchins cavorting together. It's not uncommon when conditions at the orphanage force them to run away. God, get an earful of this. Sister Susanna, all sorts of rum. One moment she flashes a wistful smile at the orphans, the next she bursts into tears and walks away. To be a reminder of someone she loved, someone she lost. Orphans come and go, through adoption, workhouses or death. Likely she's trying not to get too attached to her charges. Easier said than done.
Oh, okay, looks like a classroom.
Fond memories. Sister Eloise had Leo right. I will not ask Cyclops rude questions 50 times. He deserved it. He asked if they had one of everything. Vicious instrument of punishment in Vestal hands. Never fall asleep in class if you want your knuckles to remain unwrapped.
How can one be expected to learn and internalise life lessons if they can't feel safe in a classroom of all places?
Ah, my old desk. I could vaguely recall leaving myself a message. Here it is, carved on the underside. Atticus, you're probably still ugly. Remarkably prescient.
Come now, Atticus, true beauty lies beneath the flesh.
Always looked at the map and dreamed about how far I'd get away from here as soon as I left. So naturally, instead of Cairo, I ended up on the other side of London. A little girl with curly red hair is staring intently at the book in her hands. Little is right. Either she's too small for her age or that engineering text is far too advanced for her. She looks up at me, her face a picture of frustration.
How does the combustion chamber keep from getting wet?
I don't really know, but I imagine they carefully seal it around the edges to prevent leaks.
What help is that? Of course they seal it around the edges. Everyone knows what happens when you don't.
Do they? Her expression turns dark.
Did you hear that Trudy destroyed another toilet?
Better not ask for details.
And she went to Sister Susanna, and you know what she said? She said, Mimi did it, as if I would do such a monstrous thing.
Mimi snaps the book closed to accentuate her point.
I need to get out of here, and the best way out is an apprenticeship, so I need to learn how the combustion chamber stays dry.
The plumbing destruction must have been a sight to behold. Have you considered a simpler profession? You might be aiming too high.
I thought about it. I'm small, so I bet I could be a chimney sweep. But after what happened to Julie and Bertram, I need to leave soon, and it can't be for the workhouse.
Yeah, I heard what happened to Julie and Bertram. What else can you tell me?
Well, I didn't see them vanish, of course, but the sisters told us they had to suddenly go and work in a cannery. They said they could come to visit.
She knows as well as I did when the nuns are disingenuous.
So I snuck out. I went to the cannery by the wharf. I looked around. Julie and Bertram weren't there. I even asked some workers and nobody knew a thing.
Are you sure it was the right place?
Of course it was. They were only my only friends here and now they've disappeared.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck. I hope you become an engineer and escape this life. She doesn't reply. Instead, she opens the book back up, staring at a diagram with rapt attention.
Let's go down here. Oh, okay, that's here. It didn't look like there was a way around there from the other side, but let's go back up this stair and we'll go into the office this time. A dilapidated room with peeling paint. Some of the windows are sealed shut with grime, making the air close and stifling. Luckily, one window has a few busted panes, admitting a breeze now and then. File cabinets full of gloomy records, orphans unlikely to find a home. Sister Susanna has a head for names and numbers, and she tends to the business here. Even so, the papers pile up against the walls, towers of yellow pages that'll surely decompose before anyone reads them. You hope to find the records you're searching for deep within the rabbit hole of paperwork that is the office. Pincushion flowers with wilting leaves, implying neglect by the sisters.
Someone will water them soon.
Are we up to 100? Oh, we're still at 95 hopeful.
They're dying for sure, but they've got some road ahead. I had a feeling if I said the other one, I'd lose hope. What's in here? Candy stash. Now then, what kind of goods do we have here? Well, I'll be lollipops. I'm going to treat myself to a lollipop. I'm up to 100 now. Hey! Easy's his corpse, I feel incredible. Wonderful what a sugar rush can do. Let's leave it. I don't want to lose hope. Oh, okay. Zooming out helped a bit, actually. Getting about. Lots of heavy paperwork was done at this desk, mostly petitioning the parish for more funding, but also an adoption form every now and then. The sisters may be hardier than they look, but the lock in the drawer is flimsy. We can try to pick it. It's a 50-50. Hey. Capital. Now what's inside? Couple of coins, not enough to be missed. No, we've done stealing from the orphanage. We've only just given the money back. An ancient hulk of hardwood cabinet, sturdy enough to house a collection of cannonballs, but currently stuffed with the dusty old files. Yeah, let's search. We've got the we've got confident now. That's good. Sweet. Let's not get overwhelmed with the number of files here. Let's look for the letter D. Here it is now. Daily, daily, daily. Ah, my file's still intact. Thank the fates for bookkeeping. As if by design, a small and neatly folded piece of paper falls from the file folder and into my hand. Matilda's letter. Dear sisters, I am forever in your debt should you read this message. Along with the care of my helpless babe, I must trouble you with one other request. Let my child's name remain Atticus Daley, so that his heritage might not be lost. His given name is Atticus, and his surname is his father's. My heart is split with grief for leaving you this burden, but the sapphire is genuine, and if you sell the ring for expenses, then so be it. Before God, I will try to correct this turn of fate, but Atticus's life would be stolen if I should keep him. Upon my honour, I will try to make our family whole again, but for now I am robbed of this privilege. I beg for your kindness and apply for your patience with a promise to return. Matilda Hathaway Daley. She signed with 2 surnames, and that is ever so important now. If Hathaway is a match at Bethnal House, then I can confirm her identity. As for my father, mysterious Mr. Daley, assuming he was the one to have her committed, and she's been there all this time. Then he probably tried to destroy the marriage record. Some people stop at nothing to preserve their reputation. Then it's off to, what's this? It's Leo's file. Let's look. Leonardo Longo, light skin, dark of eye, dwarf of Italian origin, missing, presumed deceased, December 1868. This is, difficult to read. I just turned 13 when he ran away when I heard. No next of kin established, case considered closed. No, the tin ribs probably didn't even look for him, just another dead orphan. And I barely thought about him after. Too many sunrises on the horizon. Sun's a lot blurry now most mornings. Makes me wonder why I never looked closer, back when my vision wasn't so often double. What else have I forgotten? What else did I ignore? Nah, there's enough of that. All that remains now is the delicate matter of getting access to Bethnal House. Clementine could help with that. She was out in the town with a patient handler there. And one of Clem's gin twists would hit just the spot. To the Palladium! So Leo's lament, question a member of the clergy. Well, there's one going round and around the square. I can't remember what it's called. Sorus Square or something like that. Maybe we could ask him. Yeah, I've read this. Okay. Any point talking to Susanna again? Thanks, sister. I came what I have come for.
Oh, well, it's you again. I'm very pleased, I assure you. I do wish the girl would bring the firewood, though.
I hope she does. Goodbye, Susanna. All right. Well, let's go out the other way.
So, yeah, let's do the Leo thing first. So we've got there is a priest running around in Sorus Square, so maybe we could talk to him. He's walking around this. If we sort of go up and down this bit, we'll probably see him. I go in the various shops as well. There he is, preacher. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father. Ah, good day to you, sir. I trust those horns you're sporting don't mean a hostility to the Lord's word. Ha ha. Sorry, that was in poor taste. I've occasionally seen a vagrant stand and preach on the street when sozzled on gin, but you're dressed like a real man of the cloth. Did the church assign you to this, pulpit? The Catholic Church? No, I took my orders from the church, but for now I am, as it were, a free agent. The preacher is running from something. I wonder why it hasn't caught up. Any road? Well met, sir. My name's Eli McBride. May I presume you are a man of faith, Mr. Daley? Atticus Daley? Yes, I am. Tried and true. Oh, an unequivocal answer to a simple question. How refreshing. I only wish the path the Lord has chosen for me was laid out so plainly. I've a serious subject to discuss with you, Eli, if you have a moment. Oh? And what might that be? Ask about Leo and the missing orphans. Given your experience with the church, I was hoping you might have more information on matters I've been looking into. A friend of mine at the Sacred Heart Orphanage went missing some decades ago, and 2 young orphans have recently disappeared from the church's care as well. You heard anything? Oh, yes. I believe I know rather more than I'd like to about that subject, may God forgive me. You see, I worked at Sacred Heart many years ago under the head priest, Franco. A brutal and unforgiving chap, not much of a Catholic at all, to be honest. But it took me a long while, much too long, to realise it. Yeah, I know the fellow you're referring to. If anything, your description's too kind. It'd turn my stomach to tell you the details. But this Franco chap had his fingers in many distinctly unchristian pies. The more he included me in his dealings, the harder it was to turn away. But I was a younger man then, and Franco was both physically intimidating and indulged a vicious temper. Eventually I came to fear him just as the orphans did. I know that fear well. Then you're familiar with the paralysis I felt. Go on. Worse was yet to come. Franco was enlisted by someone with grand ideas and the monetary backing to implement them. This mysterious benefactor encouraged the priest to form the Sons of St. Caruso, a splinter sect officially approved by the church, but with no oversight. I suppose you can buy that for the right amount of silver, and whoever this fellow is, his pockets are bottomless. An excellent way to hide all manner of sins under the guise of devotion. By that point, I could no longer hide my distaste for Franco's endeavours. I was summarily dismissed, and bluntly told I was lucky to walk away without a thrashing. And the missing orphans? I'm certain Franco's nefarious benefactor is behind the disappearances, but of their whereabouts I've no idea. I'd be very careful about where and of whom you ask these questions. So where did this sect come from? Who is St. Caruso? Oh, a little-known Catholic who was slain by the Moors in the 13th century. The story goes that he was a talented healer and carver of prosthetic limbs, but was prosecuted for trying to convert his patients. Could you be more specific about Franco's endeavours, as you term them? I can prove very little, but what I suspect could fill a ledger. Prostitution, bribery of public officials, smuggling, anything wicked he seemed to have a hand in. I think I've heard about all I can stomach. You're a good man, Father. It's only a pity I wasn't a better one. I need some time to reflect on all of this further, but I very much enjoyed our talk. God be with you, Atticus Daley. I vaguely recall Father Franco, but the rumour was he was called away on church business. I won't find him unless I know where to look first. Who would know about secret cults and hidden dealings? Is there anyone I know with a penchant for knowing things they shouldn't? Maybe. Okay, we'll go in the various shops then around here. Okay, how much money do I have? Probably not much. 9 shillings, alright. I might be able to buy something.
Anything particular you're looking for? Not at the moment, just browsing, I suppose. Oh, okay. Never pegged the proprietor as the kind of man who'd allow this man of chaos in his personal space. Maybe he's tried to be rid of these roots, but they keep growing back. But he hides the good stuff in plain sight and uses the drawers as a distraction. I don't know if glow medicine sell better, but I imagine a bottle of cocaine would be ahead at parties. Alright, we don't seem to want anything here, so let's leave. The bladed dockhound. Theseus' corpse. Those legs of hers must be hard to walk on. Name's Atticus Daley.
Olivia Lynn.
I did a great deal of work for Molly years ago. How'd you like the trade yourself?
Once I got the leg augments fitted, I committed to a particular type of work, right? So if you're in my line, Molly's the best around.
You know, I can't figure out what you're doing out here. Keeping watch?
Manner of speaking. I'm working for a customer to pick up that wagon yonder. Stolen goods. Cigarettes mostly.
Comment on the job and convince her of your underworld credibility.
Keep a weather eye out for the coppers and you should be fine.
You think the hounds are afraid of bloody bobbies? I don't believe you work for Molly after all. Please do us both a favour and bugger off.
Alright.
What about Nandy's shop?
Spine after spine of herbal medicine. Nandy must be a fountain of knowledge. Now that I think about it, I bet I have one she hasn't read back in the garret. I should mention it to her.
Bleach white bones of various lengths and densities fill the cauldron.
Oh, bones and nothing more. Nothing more, I say. She's not a witch, right?
With a gremlin. Here's the pest who tried to invade Nandy's basement. Yeah, we've seen that. Skull collection.
Sorted skulls in several shapes and sizes, yet not a single creature is easily recognisable. Perhaps they come from other worlds, destinations the spirit could reach by travelling between dimensions. They're certainly not from this side of London.
Atticus Daley, always a delight to have you in my house of wares. How can I be of help to you today?
Pleasure's mine, Miss Mabasso. Always smells of herbs and flowers in Nandy's. Really is a pleasure.
Okay, quite a lot to ask her about. Let's work down.
This tree here, it's enormous. How long's it been here?
Even I don't know the answer to that query, nor do the occupants before me. Its origin remains a mystery, but what's important is what it brings now.
Quite the collection you have over there.
And which one would that be? I have so many, you see.
Your books. Most of them I've never seen before.
Ah, yes. Some of these are older than both of us combined, and others are from lands far away from here. I take a particular interest in the unknown. When one has acquired enough unique knowledge that benefits others, they become more valuable. And value has its price.
I have one you may like. Not as rare, but very specific. Could add to your considerable value.
It would be my pleasure to see it, though I doubt its content will be unfamiliar to me.
Maybe you'll be surprised.
Perhaps.
Mr. Mabasso, I wondered if you could take a gander at this ring I've been carrying around. It used to belong to my mother.
Your mother, you say? Let me have a look. Yes, the stone is garnet, I believe. It could stand to be cleaned.
I don't want to say this the wrong way, Miss Mabasso, but you seem like you might know about some of the things that are scuttle in the dark. She lets her friendly smile drop and reaches into the pouch at her side, retrieving a carved wooden pipe and a small wad of tobacco. Her attention seems to be entirely on the pipe as she replies.
Rats, Mr. Daley. Anyone in London could tell you of rats.
I'm looking for something a little bigger. Have you ever heard of the Sons of Caruso?
She lights the pipe and looks up at you. There are some questions better not asked, Atticus. Why do you want to know?
I had a close friend as a boy, back when I was an orphan at Sacred Heart. He disappeared one day after I left and I never looked into it. A street preacher implied that Father Franco and the Sons of Caruso might be responsible for orphans going missing, so I'm looking into it.
My advice to you is to let the past lie. You will find only heartache and danger down this path. Still doing well. I've already had my share of heartache and danger. I'm hoping that closing this old chapter can get me some closure. And I've got what I think might be a clue already. See this cufflink? She focuses on the bauble for a moment and nods. I found this in a mausoleum at the Sacred Heart. It's a damn odd thing to have been lying around where it was. I can see strength in you, Atticus, but this is a dark path. Are you certain you wish to know? Well, that's why I'm asking. I cannot tell you very much, but I can direct you to the next stop on your journey. Whenever someone dies in the smoke, ambulance drivers race to be the first to claim them. She blows an ironic cloud into the space between you. Your friend went missing decades ago, but chances are someone found him. You should look for old drivers, perhaps around the docks and wharfs, perhaps someone with the initials and the jewellery you found. I have a rather strange question, but I feel like you might be the right person to ask. Of course, ask. However strange it may be, I promise I have heard stranger. Periodically, well, more often than I would like, I hear an old woman's voice in my head scolding me or making suggestions. Ah, this is more common than you think. Is the voice friendly? Oh, it's friendly enough, but how do I make it stop? It is likely the voice of a helpful spirit. I advise you to make peace with it, and above all, listen. Very likely it has something important to convey. Got anything in stock that'll make the fates smile down on me? As it happens, I am in possession of a gris, a Vaudin staple that brings good fortune to its owners. £2. Oh, wow. I do not have £2. Oh, well. Second thought, I'll take my chances without it. As you wish. I see you got a gin bottle on display. I do. A most troublesome acquisition, as the label implies. Troublesome gin. Why such a name? Well, any sort of liquor has the potential to cause trouble, does it not? Not necessarily, I say. 4p. Fine. Let's see if it lives up to its name. Know that I shall not be responsible for any incident caused by use of that bottle. Well, better be on my way now. Good day to you, Miss Mabasso. Blessed day to you, Atticus. Alrighty. So let's have a little look through the journal and just remind ourselves what we've got on the plate here. So courtesan killer, I haven't really made any progress with Atticus, at least with this. Gin collector, I'm still doing some. Leo's lament. So I want to go and speak to the guy outside the Crimson Herring pub. I don't know where to find Molly, but we keep looking in places. Old Crone. Quite a lot of updates there. Pay off the rent. I don't really know how much I owe. Portal Magic. Head back to the garret and get that book for Nandi. Yeah, that's an easy one to do. Getting into Bethnal House. Climb at the Palladium. Okay, so... why can't I... maybe it's too much. Pay off the rent. We'll put that in. Yeah, we'll keep those 4 active for now. Well, they're all active, I know, but, you know, on my screen. Skinny lad.
Sir, a moment of your time, if you please. My name is Calvin Quill, sir, and I am an artist. You see me in reduced station, but soon I shall rise like the morning star among the London elite. Then you can claim to have known me. When, as the expression goes.
What ragamuffin, this tree has not been kind to Mr. Quill. Ah, I see you. What sort of artist are you, Mr. Quill?
I am a poet, sir, a penny poet. Though they cost me dearly, I sell my wares cheaply, so they all may enjoy them, and every one of them is guaranteed to be new and original.
Bit skin, I'm afraid. What do you say to a halfpenny?
Listen, sir, the poverty of coin is a passing malady, sometimes painful, but the strong soul will endure. But poverty of the spirit is a ghastly affliction, which can hurry anyone to the grave, from the wealthiest duke to the humblest street sweeper.
All right, buy a poem for a penny. Very well. I've always had a soft spot for art. Here's your penny.
Ah, perfect. Just a moment.
There he goes, scribbling away. There once was a Minotaur brown, the toast of old London town, until one day, walking the docks, In naught but his socks. He fell into the Thames and drowned. Yeah, it's wonderful, thanks. Thank you, sir. May the written word always soothe your ills and light your way. Okay. So I think we can try going to Pavel's. There might be something there. This is open barrel. Barrel full of, well, I suppose it's one way to relieve oneself on a bender. Here's Poe again. Should we talk to him again? Here's Poe Pickett again. Hard to avoid him in this town. Good day, sir.
Ah, good to you, madam, sir. Who might you be?
Call me Atticus. Why the woebegone look? Is something wrong?
No. Well, yes, something is wrong since you asked. I'm awful dry, my lord. Pierce something fierce. Parched something fierce and my flat purse is gone.
Did this flat purse have actual money in it?
Aye, it did. Coins and notes both. It was so thick I couldn't hold it in me hand, and that's why I had to spend some on a flat purse.
Well, what exactly happened to this purse of yours?
I was minding my own business, just sitting down, lying down for a wee rest over at the wharf. This bloke bends over all sneaky-like and filches my tin right from my pocket. It was yesterday, I think. Wasn't today. Of that I'm sure, mostly.
You're saying you were pickpocketed while sleeping in the street?
Exactly right. Or maybe I dropped it. Any road, I don't have it, do I? That's the important bit. And the fellow what done it, he smelled of brine. I was sure it was one of them salty wharf dogs, for sure.
Are you willing to share your tin if I retrieve it for you?
Aye, sure I would. What?
Okay, I'll keep my eye open for stray flat purse and let you know if I stumble across it.
Thank you, much obliged.
I'm curious about something, Mr. Pickett. How did you end up in such a sorry state?
Well, I ain't your high and meaty mighty. Come down from your ivory tower to take a look at the unfortunates, What you want to know? How old Poe got to be this way, do ya?
Suppose I'll do it, that.
Well, ain't you a rumbunctious shot? I'll tell you then.
He brushes back the filthy hair from his forehead to reveal a jagged white line.
Here's a scar from the old mutton shunters. Police officers. They came in the dead of night. In the dead of light night. Says to me I'm late on rent. I says to them I paid it last Tuesday. And you know what they says?
Oh, what a terrible mistake we've made. Carry on sleeping then.
They says nothing. Just hits me over the head with a truncheon and dumps me on the street. Landlord changes the locks. All my things still inside. A week hence, building's been bought by a bank.
I've lost hope. So they ran out the tenants to sell the building?
I've been trying since then, believe you me, Lord some once or other. But your luck can just spoil, and after it's just spoiled.
Sounds like as good a reason as any to find his wallet. Maybe I can prove him wrong. Yeah, I'm sure he did a lot of money in it, but we'll still look for it. Let's go to Pavel's pinfold. London sewers, home to the rats and the rat catcher, apparently. Can't remember his voice. Come closer, Governor, please. Don't be afraid, they don't bite, except that one with a white stripe on his face. Got my eye on you, buddy. I understand you're a rat catcher, but why the rat collection? Call me Pavel, please. My name's Pavel Gerard, and my business is catching and selling rats. He smells like the bottom deck of a steamship. Must help him attract the killer creatures. I'm making an investigation into the courtesans going missing from the East End. You see plenty of traffic here. Wonder if you've heard anything. Courtesans? Well, I know quite make a striking figure, sir, but though I appear to be a high-born gentleman, I haven't a farthing to spend on ladies of the night. Nope, don't know nothing about it, sir. But if you've heard tell of rats going missing, that's a crime I will confess to. Ho-ho. Surely this is some sort of jape. You don't mean you actually turn a profit with these vermin? A man could pluck one up from the gutter whenever he chooses. I jape you not, sir. While it's true that these fuzzy fellows can be found almost anywhere, I am a connoisseur of rattus rattus. All my specimens have a special something about them. An interesting pattern in the fur, or a kinky tail, and such like. Very popular with the upper crust these days. Very a la mode, as the Dutch say. So first you're paid for collecting rats from homes and businesses, and then you've conned the muckety mucks into paying to take the little critters back. Oh, that's a sharp bit of double dealing. I bow to you, sir. I charge a modest fee to broker a friendship, man and rat. If there's a more honest business than that, I don't know what it is. Since you've so many contacts in London, perhaps you know where a minotaur could find a decent bottle of gin. Well, I don't have anything myself because of the crackdown on bootlegging.
With all the smugglers getting pinched, the price has gone up something awful. Amen. The palladium's a good bet. Molly O'Malley's in there all the time, and I know she ain't drinking no swill. Your animals are fascinating, but I've got a pressing engagement elsewhere. Good day, sir. Okay, Molly's in the palladium then, by the sound of it. So I might go back to our house, grab that book. So I need to go to Tenter Street. Yeah. Oh no, Garrett, that's right.
Even in the dingy dark of your garret, coming home has a certain appeal. Despite the run-down condition, it's a space you've gotten used to.
Anyway, contains every possession I have. These things belong to me. There's a bookcase, a wardrobe that's always getting stuck, and a writing desk I salvaged from an office fire. Gas lamps flicker up from the street, etching spidery shadows in the rafters. The peeling wood floor is slashed with moonlight from the only window. A round, dusty affair. Right, look at the bookcase, I suppose. Take the Minotaur's assistant. Here's something Nanny might find fetching. I bet she'll burn the midnight oil just to read this. Alright, let's go back and see her. Sorry, square, wasn't it? Yeah. I'll get some money for it, you never know. That'd be quite nice. Here you go, Nandy. This is the book I wanted to show you. She takes the book carefully, interest clear on her face. Nandy knows much, but still, she seems excited at the idea of untapped wisdom as she flips through the pages. The Minotaur's Assistant. Fascinating. It contains many spells and cantrips that only Minotaurs are capable of. Never crossed my mind to take a look at that one. Told you you'd be surprised. If you don't have a strong attachment to this book, I would like to purchase it from you. It would be an invaluable to my collection. Well, it's not used to me anymore. I would be glad to have it find a new home here. That is settled. Have a little something in exchange for the book. Ah, we got the Gris. That was worth £2. So it's not money, but it was something that we could have bought from her. I'm not sure what it is, so let's have a quick look. A Vodan amulet, believed to protect the wearer from evil and bring good fortune. Okay. Right, where will we go next? Docks is probably a good bet. I'll leave Molly for a little while. But I think we can go and speak to the guy down at the docks who had the cufflink. This guy. We could maybe speak to dockhounds and stuff. Here's a rugged-looking dockhound if I've ever seen one. Oh, good day. You're one of Molly's, yes? I'm Atticus.
Atticus, you say? Helena Bailey.
But you're no dockhound, leastwise none I've seen. 50-50. No, I used to be in the trade, though. What's the patter these days? Ah! Her gaze immediately becomes guarded.
Old Ma Bailey never raised any tongue waggers. Get on, you.
Oh, well. I don't feel a need to talk to those. That guy's back here. Dante. I think I'm just going to follow like the quest beats that I've got, rather than poking around too much. Hello there, chappie. My name's Glenn Forrester, Lieutenant in Her Majesty's Royal Navy. You're a minotaur, if I'm not mistaken. Atticus Daley, and yeah, I'm a minotaur. What about it? Well, of course you're a minotaur. Sorry if I sound daft, but I'm a collector, you see, of stories. I've encountered many wondrous creatures in my travels, around the Aegean, sultry sirens, terrifying krakens, and countless others once thought to exist only in myth, much like the noble minotaur. Noble's the right word, I'd say. What about these other creatures? Well, as I mentioned, I'm an officer in the Royal Navy and not given to spending wild yarns, as are some of my seagoing brethren. I have witnessed miracles at the Temple of Zeus and have myself spoken with the mermaid of Thessaloniki. Alright, accept your bona fides. What is it you want to tell me? Yeah, this is the story he told Clara. From your tone, I'd feared some kind of disaster. What is it about this incident that rattled you so? Anti-Cyclops prejudiced. Yeah, he said all that. I well understand what it means to be on the receiving end of such prejudice. Haunts me in every corner of London. For all my size, every Tom, John and Jane seems perfectly content to insult and belittle me at every opportunity. I too have faced this sort of travail as a dark-skinned man in the Navy. It was the work of many long years to achieve the rank of lieutenant, times in which I gave everything I had to my country. The place where my right leg used to be is testament to that. Indeed, no one could doubt his loyalty and determination. I learned much as well. Do you know the Cyclops preacher, Eli? He and I have become fast friends. His company has been a sobering reminder of the great odds stacked against certain people in this world, and how vigilant one must be not only with others, but with oneself. Well spoken, sir. I myself have many a time noted the correspondence between prejudice against darker skinned folks and against people like myself of, well, let's say, unconventional ancestry. I'm glad to have met you, Atticus Daley. Our conversation has left my mind expanded and my spirits lifted. He reaches for something in his waistcoat. Here, take this token of my gratitude. A little something I found on one of my seafaring adventures. Good day to you, and good luck in all your endeavours. Jonathan Silvergin. Actually, there's something else I'd like to discuss. Sure, Atticus, what is it? Look, here's the rub. Poe Pickett asked me to track down his flat purse, which he says was stolen. Don't know any Poes or Picketts, and I don't like the implication. I suppose to your eyes, every hard-working man must be dishonest just because he gets his hand dirty. No, I meant nothing of the sort, but never mind. So tell me, Lieutenant, what was life like before becoming a sailor? Oh, not much to tell. Did a little of this and a little of that. A little ambulance driving, perhaps? I should be careful asking. He's likely to be evasive, and I can only ask once. 86%. Yes. Come now, Glenn. I've listened to your sea tale, and was I anything but a capable listener? An adventurer like yourself must have worked some exciting jobs as a young man. Why is everyone asking me about this all of a sudden? He rubs his temples in apparent consternation. Fine, fine. I used to work as an ambulance driver once upon a time. More recently, I suppose. Recently? Look, I take no pride in it, really. Did it a while when I was a young man and got out of that rotten business when I joined Her Majesty's Navy. Rotten? On ambulance drivers now truistic lot. Ever since my discharge, it's been a bit tough making ends meet. The pension only goes so far. So yes, I've gone back to it. But at least I'm still not doing Arsenal's dirty work. Blood drains from the lieutenant's face. Ah, forgot the last part, would you? Forget the last part, would you? Do another wit check. Show him the cufflink and ask him to elaborate. Good. Look here, does this seem familiar? It's my cufflink. Where did you find it? I think you know where. His face twists in an expression of agony. Oh, fine, but you can't repeat this to a soul. Of course, Glenn, your secret's safe with me. He relaxes a bit, but still looks pained. It was all some 2 decades past. I was a young man, all full of vinegar, and I was very good at my job. Driving an ambulance is a competitive business, you know. Not everyone can do it, and you need to be fast. I've heard they steal patients from each other like medical highwaymen. Patients, yes. Wanted dead or alive. Well, one day a local businessman reached out with a lucrative offer. He knew I was the best and he wanted my help.
Help with what? Was he a physician?
Not exactly. You might say he paid well for the leftovers.
Sounds like a physician, actually.
He'd been contacted by Arsenal engines. They knew he had a line on cadavers and they were interested in getting some themselves. There was a problem, though.
There weren't enough to go round.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Physicians' colleges have a hard time getting enough cadavers for doctors to learn with. Private research tends to have less in the way of legitimacy, but that makes it all harder to get the resources needed.
So, where did you come in?
Like I said, I was the best. He needed someone who could reliably deliver the ones who didn't make it.
He sighs heavily.
I grew up in the West End, you know. Didn't have much apart from gumption. The money was good, and nobody minds a dead drifter going missing once in a while. So I helped the man out. Whenever I had extras no one would miss, I made a delivery.
Surely there's no way for this sordid story to take a turn for the worse.
It still wasn't enough, though. Arsenal needed... they needed industrial numbers, so we took to retrieving some that were already well and buried.
You robbed graves?
I'd hardly call it robbing. Paupers, drifters, men like me, they weren't buried with riches and nobody was coming back to check the grave on all souls.
Easy to wave it's away when it's nobody you know.
For a while it seemed like we were filling the quota, but people just weren't dying fast enough. Despite what you might have heard about ambulance drivers, we're not out there killing for a payday.
Uh-huh.
The last straw was the graveyard outside Sacred Heart. Word was we had permission. Those poor kids, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror after. So next day I enlisted.
I'm looking into a disappearance from Sacred Heart. Not just out of the ground, but a live resident. Were you involved in that?
What? God, no, I've never harmed a child. I haven't worked for Arsenal in a quarter century. Even when I did, I'd never done that.
Didn't take issue with grave robbing, though.
As soon as they were children's graves, I did.
He seemed shaken.
If kids went missing, maybe you should check at Arsenal. I can't say I know they were doing any such thing, but it did surprise me when the prior at Sacred Heart just let us raid the cemetery. If he was in Arsenal's pocket, God knows what else they were up to.
I just might do that. Thank you for your help, Glenn.
Hope you find what you're looking for.
See you later, Glenn.
A pretty gruesome tale there. But I think we'll leave it there for today. So we'll come back next time and look into this a bit closer. And in terms of Arsenal, I guess we'll go and talk to Dante, find out a bit more. We're still looking for this flat purse, so I probably will talk to other people in this area because they might have seen something. But as I said, we'll do that next time. So thanks very much for watching this episode of Sovereign Syndicate. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you could hit the thumbs up button, that'd be great, as would be leaving me a comment. Let me know what you think about the game, the characters, the various mysteries that we're looking into. Which one catches your interest the most? But yeah, if you're watching this and haven't already subscribed to the channel, if you could do that as well, that would be amazing. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.